Hello everyone. In this video, you are going to learn how to set images in the background of your web pages. Okay, like this. So, background is a CSS property. Remember like how you learned to set background color by using background hyphen color keyword in CSS, like that. The same thing, but instead of background hyphen color, you'll be using background hyphen image. So in the place of color, you'll be just using the keyword image. So that is simple. So that is how you will set image as a background. Okay. So where you will give the image file. So you have to use URL and then the file name here. Okay, so this is how you will set an image as a background. So inside the CSS, you have to specify the selector where you want to display the image as a background. For example, here in this code, it is body, and then background image is the keyword that you have to use, then colon. Remember the syntax: selector, property, colon, value, semicolon. So the selector is body, and the keyword, the property is background image, colon, and then value. What is the value? So the value is the actual file name. So that should be given with the URL keyword. Okay. So let's look little bit deeper onto this. So let's look in W3 School website to explore it further. Okay, so where you can see the background image. So you can see here they have used the inline CSS. You can either do it inline or embedded or external, whatever. But here, just for the convenience of trying, we have used the inline CSS, where you can see the inline CSS style attribute and then background hyphen image colon and the file name is given here. Okay, so here you are asking this image in the background, so it is getting displayed, and then finally in the second paragraph also you are asking this image to get displayed in the background. Okay, so that's what you see here. So if you delete this, then you can see, so it's getting deleted. Okay, so backgrounds image is the style property. It's a CSS property that you can either use it with any kind of CSS. Okay, so let's move on to the next concept. How we can use this background image property to give the totally different appearance in the images. Let's look at this website. If you click on this link, it will direct you to this page where you can see how amazingly this background image property could be used to give an awesome appearance in your website. You can look at this where you can see the unicorn images with the GIF. You can see this is the GIF image with repeated unicorn images that makes it look more glittery. And you can look at this. They have given the code for that as well. Okay, and then you can look at this where you can give the multiple transparency. With the transparency, how it gives totally different appearance. Okay, and then here you can see how you can set it in the background, which gives some unique kind of look here. Okay, and then here you can give the GIF. It's actually just an image, but with the GIF property, how you can bring the animated experience. Okay, and then here also we can bring the animated experience by giving different background, by using different background property. Okay, so and also look at this where you can see you can bring the animation effect by setting, because these are different images, background images. Just you're just using the background animated background property, background image property, CSS property, to bring in this animated effect. Okay, and you can see like this many things are possible with the background CSS property. So let's look at the other properties that is available in CSS to bring in those effects that we have seen in that website. Okay, so background positioning. First, let's look at the positioning of images. So for that, mainly you'll be using this background repeat So like how you use the background hyphen image like that, the CSS property called background hyphen repeat will help you to customize the repetition, like how you saw in that particular first image and the unicorn got repeated over the viewport. Like that, how we can customize the repetition of images, repetition of background images. Okay, so for that, let's look in the W3 School website where we can explore more on the background repeat property. So if you go further, here you can just try where you can see the background image, the image is getting repeated. Let's try it with small images where you can see the size of the image is small. So until it fills the viewport, the images will get repeated. Okay. So if you want to avoid this, we'll be using background repeat property. Let's try it. Background hyphen repeat. So if you give no repeat, so you can see with no repeat property, it is not getting this. So that's what I have explained in this slide. So the repeat is by default, but repeat X will get displayed like this. Repeat Y will get displayed in vertically, and no repeat will not get repeated. Okay, so let's try it in W3 School website page. So we have used the no repeat property here, and if you use repeat property, then that is default, it will get repeated. And then if you want to repeat in only in X direction, horizontal direction, then you can say repeat X. And then if you use repeat Y property, then it will get repeated vertically. Okay, so by using background repeat property, you can customize these things. And then there are some other property that you can make use of. For example, you can use the background size. We'll be learning this in future in 2-3 weeks after when we learn advanced multimedia file. Then we'll learn these things. But let's try this. So if you're not using the cover property, then what will happen? You can see by using the background size cover property, you can just make it to cover the whole viewport. Okay, so the background size has different property, cover, content. We'll see that in future, but right now I want you to practice background repeat property, and then I want you to learn how you can use this background image CSS property to display the image in the CSS. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to see is how you can use multiple background images in the website, what I explained in the previous slide. So you can see they use different background images to bring in that animated effect. Okay, so you can customize that background image and background repeat property to bring in those effects. But you have to remember that many of the multiple background image is not supported by older browser. Okay, so you can just keep that thing in mind, that most of the things that you do with multiple images, that will be supported only by the latest process. Okay, so as I have explained in this, as I have shown in this particular slide, you can see the slide itself has multiple backgrounds, this one and then another background and another background, like that. There are transparency and there are multiple backgrounds. Okay, so this can be done only with the images which has the transparent property. You have to make sure that the image has the transparent property. What does it mean? It should have only the PNG and GIF image can have the multiple background like this, multi-layered background. You cannot do it for the JPEG images. Okay, so let's explore further on it on our lab practice. But next, we are going to see different CSS property that we can use to customize the font and text. So in the next